Hello and welcome back to Pentiment. First I want to say thanks for your support on this series. The most recent episode, episode 7, got way more views than all of the other episodes so far, so I appreciate that. I'm sure I guess the algorithm found something it liked. I don't know. Who knows how the YouTube gods work. Whoa. Also, I want to quickly say that probably since tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I don't know how much I will be able to record over the next 4 or 5 days. This series will probably go to an every other day upload schedule, um, at least for a little bit, like the next 2 to 3 to 4 episodes, somewhere around there, and then hopefully we can go back to a daily upload schedule because I want to get through this as quickly as possible with you guys. So we, in the last episode, was very eventful. We found that, I was gonna say we witnessed, but we didn't actually witness the murder. But we stumbled across the body of Baron Rothvogel along with the rest of the abbey and convent, and then we came and had a meal with the Druckers, and now we kind of have an option or several options of how we want to proceed from here. And I don't really know exactly what I want to do because how do I pull up my journal? Is it Y? Yes, okay. So we could go talk to, whoa, okay. Before I look at all this, I'm just going to quickly say we could go talk to Lucky Steinbauer, or whatever his name is, who was having an altercation with Baron Rothvogel yesterday morning. He's presumably at his house here in town. We could go talk to Otilla, the, pagan widow in the woods who cursed Baron Rothvogel when we were walking to the abbey yesterday. We could go talk to Mother Cecilia, or whatever her name is, the leader of the convent next to the abbey, because there was something going on with her. I forgot how she ties into all this, but there was something with her. And then we also need to go talk to Brother Florian, or what the medic's name, to look at his body. Now, when we stepped out of the house and Andreas was recounting all this to himself, he said if I don't go to see Brother Florian, he'll have to look at the body without me. So I don't know what if I go do one of these other things first, will I miss out on the opportunity to go do that? So I guess I should go do that first. We've got the Archdeacon's investigation. The Baron's man, Nicholas, has departed for Innsbruck to request the presence of the most revered Jacob Estler, Archdeacon of Freising. He will be gathering evidence about the murder and interrogating those of us who might have information. Is the Archdeacon and the Prince Bishop the same thing? I guess so, because they said the Prince Bishop of Freising, right? And then we've got a stonemason's anger. I should talk with Lucky to find out what he was arguing with the Baron. Blah blah blah. This is basically, it looks like it's just everything we just went through. Occult hands. I need to figure out the meaning of the cipher Ferenc wrote in his scriptorium. Yes, we also need to talk to Brother Ferenc because he was apparently having altercations or disagreements with Baron Rothvogel. He was being bribed, potentially, by Baron Rothvogel to help him with some occult stuff. But we can't talk to him today because we have been exiled from the Abbey for the rest of the day. Although Florian is going to help us out a little bit. And we used Ferenc's Volvel, or whatever it's called, to decipher the puzzle several episodes ago, all that stuff. The Baron and the Nun. Mother Cecilia reacted poorly to the Baron's appearance by the Abbey. Could she have something to do with his murder? I should find out what their history is. She's usually in the Priory's house in the convent. I was able to find an entrance to the library through the crypt beneath the Abbey. A false... Okay, yeah. What are those two things... How are those two things related? Is my question. I guess if I need to get into the library, I'll figure it out, but it seems like that shouldn't be there as of now. So maybe the game is kind of spoiling a later connection, or a later task we're going to have to do at some point. The Flood. Baron Matthew rang the church bells early, and now one of his sisters is screaming in the chapter house. I should go see what's going on. Why would you write that down as it's happening? Wouldn't you, like, want to immediately run over there and see what's going on and be like, oh, wait, excuse me, I have to jot down in my journal real quick that someone screamed and I'm going to go check it out. The weather's awful, but I still have to get to the scriptorium. Okay, blah, 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 blah. The brothers and sisters discovered Lauren's murdered in the chapter house. Brother Piero kneeling nearby with a bloody knife. I can't make sense of it, but the abbot has ordered me to leave until tomorrow. Brother Florian promised to let me covertly attend his examination of the body later today. Until then, I think I should sit down for a good meal. I should see if the drunkers have a place for me at their table. So yeah, we're going to immediately return to the abbey to talk to Florian and Cecilia. And then I guess we'll see how long that takes and how time progresses. Columbine, yeah. Have we looked at this? Snowdrops, one of the only flowers that can bloom this early in the spring at this altitude. I'm going to assume we've looked at all these flowers. Alright, so how are we going to get to Florian? I don't actually know where he is. Oh, okay, I guess this window. That seems very indiscreet. Andreas, this way. There you are. I'm glad the storm didn't delay you. Now, even though I gave instructions that I was not to be disturbed, we must work quickly. Seeing a corpse up close can be unsettling for some. I hope you're up to it. Well, I'm not sure, but I want to help. We studied medicine, so we're probably used to this? Yeah, I studied medicine for a while at university. We saw dead bodies, I'll be fine. I've seen many animal corpses, blah, blah, blah. I think, you know, seeing human corpses is probably a little more relevant. Seeing a dead body is different from examining one directly. Well, presumably, I mean, I don't know about medical training in the early 16th century in southern Germany, but presumably, if you saw dead bodies in the medical field, they would be cutting them open. So, I mean, I feel like that's... You might not be, like, looking for cause of death exactly, but you're probably used to examining them pretty up close. Now then, you should probably take notes as we go. This might be useful later. Of course. There he is. Can't help but notice a distinct lack of genitalia. I mean, I'm sure it's there, but I don't think it would be that neatly hidden away. I will begin inspecting his begin by inspecting his interior, starting with the face and head. No visible wounds, no blemishes, teeth in good condition, nothing unusual. Sorry, are you a medical examiner or a monk? How often are you examining dead bodies? Neck, shoulders, and chest are ordinary. I need to clean some blood away to examine the torso. Yes, there it is, a puncture wound between the 6th and 7th ribs. It's fairly shallow, though. I estimate it penetrated only about an inch, and likely came from his own hand. Excuse me. Wait, he inflicted on himself? How can you tell? Doesn't sound deep enough to have killed him. It's the second time we've been able to ask a Nuremberg inch or an Innsbruck inch. I want to ask it at some point. I hope we get the chance to ask it, but now is not the time. I mean, I want to ask both of these. But I'm going to go with that doesn't sound deep enough to have killed him. It wasn't. It's likely incidental. Received while falling on his own knife. He must have some other wound that issued forth the blood, all the blood we found in him, or on him. Then surely that must mean Brother Piero is innocent. It means it's incredibly unlikely that Brother Piero stabbed the Baron, but it doesn't explain what actually killed the man. Brother Piero never should have picked up that knife. I'm sure the appearance of guilt never had even crossed his mind. Now then, let's move on. What does it say? Let's move on. Well, there's a sore on his sex. Okay, I guess his genitals. Probably from the French disease. Is that what we call it these days? I doubt it has anything to do with his murder. The disease French soldiers received in the brothels of Naples. Yes. How do you know of it? We discussed it in university. Ah, yes. It spread rapidly. even north of the Alps. The treatment is dire, as it involves heavy mercury consumption. Jesus Christ. That's really bad, and they don't know that yet. Anyway, it seems the Baron was not the most faithful husband, not uncommon among the nobility. I would expect a monk to be more shocked by this. I spent many years as a mercenary. Sex and death are common companions in that world. Do you get to just do whatever and then be a monk? Like, I'm not saying that Florian was a deviant or a bad person or whatever. I don't know his past, but can you live 40 years as a whoring, drinking rapscallion and then be like, all right, I'm done now. I'm going to be a monk, and like no one ever gets to question it? I'm not really sure on the protocol there. Besides, sex isn't all that rare even in the Abbey. I mean, that's also true. Between the monks and the nuns, or between the brothers? I'll ask between the monks and the nuns. It's not relevant to our examination, Andreas. Let's continue. Sorry, I just hit my hand on my desk for some reason. Other than a few blisters on his feet from what I assume are new shoes, there's nothing wrong with his legs. Andreas, can you help me turn him over? Of course. Oh, stoically. I was like, what the hell is catoically? I gotta just start assuming these are typos. I do a decent job of it, like 50% of the time, I guess. There's a slight irregularity in his spine, possibly from an old injury. I don't think it has anything to do with how he died, though. How could that have happened? I spent enough time with nobles to guess he probably fell off his horse when hunting. I understand the Baron enjoyed hiking in the wilderness. The most beautiful places are often the most difficult to reach. It's true, you did tell us that. It's easy to get injured if you aren't careful, especially if you're in a truly wild and remote place. It seems like a silly thing to risk your life for, but I'm not one to talk. I guess that explains why he has an eye patch if he was a mercenary. Whatever the reason, it didn't contribute to his death. Here it is, another dramatic head wound. Or a rather dramatic head wound. Damn. The dark hair and the blood make it difficult to see, but it's quite bad. In my experience, I've never seen someone walk away from a head wound of this severity. I don't think he's going to be walking away anytime soon. How many head wounds have you seen? I imagine the force of the impact would have been quite great to crack this. It would have to be quite great to crack the skull. I'm going to forego the special option and just ask this. Too many and not enough. As grim as it sounds, there's always more to learn. Perhaps he was a doctor in the military of some sort. Italian doctors try to examine as many corpses as they can to fully understand the mysteries of the body. The battlefields of Poland and Lithuania aren't as ideal a learning environment as the University of Bologna, but they did provide an education of sorts. Bologna is one of the largest cities in Italy. Bologna has been a center of the arts for centuries. It houses a well-known university, which was home to both Dante and Petrarch. Hell yeah. I'd rather be treated by someone with experience than a novice with a university education. No. Why didn't you study medicine in a university? Or, I wish I had finished my degree. I could be of more use to you now. I'll go ahead and say that. There's no need to despair. Many hands would make more work in this instance. The wound looks like it was caused by a single powerful blow from a blunt object, probably no more than 4 or 5 inches across. How can you tell? The skull is cracked in a single spot, and there's a clear impression in the skin around it. It would take extraordinary precision to hit the same spot twice, unless the Baron was already dead. Even then, I feel like it would take some pretty extraordinary precision to hit the exact same spot twice, even if the target's not moving. It's likely he didn't die immediately. How long could he have survived for? I've seen similar injuries in battle. The victims don't last more than a few minutes, but it's an agonizing death. Even so, he couldn't have wandered far from where the blow was first struck. So he may not have been attacked in the chapter house. He was either attacked in the chapter house or somewhere in the immediate area. The cloister, the garden, the church. I mean, I think all of these are possibilities. He definitely couldn't have been attacked outside the abbey. I'll say the church. I can't imagine it. Rudiger and Matthew are in and out of there constantly. Who the hell is Rudiger? Okay, I guess it's just someone I don't remember. I love how they just... when you look at something, the fingers... I don't think I've ever noticed that. I thought they were just lines, but they're hands with disgustingly long fingers. Also, I guess the dotted underline means you've already read that before. Noise in the church is easy to hear, and the Baron would have to go through the cloister to wind up in the chapter house. Anyway, whatever killed the Baron was a blunt instrument of considerable heft. The part that impacted him was likely a little smaller than a fist. Could it have actually been a fist? No. I don't think the strongest soldier could do this with a punch, unless the Baron's head were pressed to the ground. Even then, we would see damage to his nose or forehead. Could a woman or an elderly person have done it? Anyone could have, given the right weapon and sufficient height. Whoever did this must have caught the Baron unaware. Save the small knife wound, he has no other injuries. I suppose that he was struck, drew his knife to defend himself, and fell on it before Brother Piero discovered him. So I believe we've discovered two important things. Piero didn't stab the Baron, and even if he had, that isn't what killed him. Indeed, though it may take more to convince the Archdeacon of Brother Piero's innocence. His innocence. And we know that the Baron was killed by a blow to the head from a heavy blunt object. Now you just need to find what caused the blow and learn who struck it. Oh, there is one other item of interest. I found it in the Baron's jacket, but didn't want to open it without you. Is a will bequeathing all of his wealth to me? His new BFF? A note of some kind. I trust you to open it more carefully than I would. What? Okay. Do you have, like, trembling hands or something? What does it say? Das Radchen? Das Radchen. Das Starb und die Unsludgy Nit here. Materine Rapidic. Yeah, totally. The girl who died and the innocent with her. Matan chapter. What? The girl who died and the innocent with her. Mourning chapter. The girl? What girl? And what innocent? One of the nuns? Someone from the village? Your guess is as good as mine. Unfortunately, I don't have much faith in my guesses. Can you tell who wrote it? It's definitely someone with a great deal of experience to scribe, but it can't be Adolf or Guy. It's possible they're Swiss, maybe German or Austrian. It's a highly refined Gothic script. Okay. I guess that narrows it down. As good as Adolf and Guy are, I don't think they could replicate this. What? Really? If not them, who? I intend to find out. I wish you good luck finding the answer. Now, I'm sorry to rush you, but I must ask you to leave. Every minute you stay here is an additional... Oh, God. Brother Florian, could you open up? It's Werner Stoltz, the physician from Tassing. Yes, I'm in the middle of something. Could you return after supper? I'm afraid it can't wait. Father Grenot asked me to examine the Baron's body. Alright, just give me a moment. Andreas, I need you to hide yourself. Of course. That's how I'm hiding? What? Bro. Ah, Dr. Stoltz. Sorry to keep you waiting. Have we met this guy? Stoltz sounds familiar, but he doesn't look familiar. Now, what did you need? The abbot wanted me to examine the Baron's body before his wife arrives. It seems unnecessary at this point, as I've just completed my own examination. Well, then what's the harm in letting me take a look? Dr. Stoltz, with all respect, I have finished. The cause of death is clear. If you had arrived an hour ago, I would have had no problem with your assistance. Assistance? I'm a university-trained physician. I can examine the corpse on my own without the help of battlefield sawbones. Or a battlefield sawbones. I'm staying out of this. Regardless of your opinion regarding my abilities, the examination is finished. If you insist on inspecting the body anyway, I must insist that the abbot tells me himself. What? Making me bring the abbot here is a waste of time. So is performing an examination on this corpse immediately after one was just completed. Idiotic. I'll return with Father Granot presently. Get fucked. That was close. Now quickly, leave for the cloister before they return. Through the cloister? Huh? Of course. Thank you, Brother Florian. Think nothing of it. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be in tow. Okay, yeah, that did pass time, so I'm glad I went and did that first. Now it's time for dinner. I should find someone to eat with. Well, I can't get that note out of my head. The girl who died and the innocent with her. Something must have happened. Either in town, maybe that's why Lucky was upset, or, like, something in the Baron's past. You know, like, he was indirectly responsible for the death of a woman and her baby or something like that, and it's bothering her, or him. But yeah, obviously it's probably related to someone in town, because it's probably related to who killed him. What could it mean, and who wrote it? It's also true, is if it wasn't Guy or Adok, it could only be Piero or Ferenc, right? We're the one, like, or me. I don't think it's me. We're the ones who know how to write like that. I would like to speak to Mother Cecilia, but actually no, it's the other one. And she also might not even be here because it's dinner time. Yeah, she's gone. Speaking of which, how far? We're 23 minutes in. I don't want to repeat of the last episode where I was convinced it had been 20 minutes at most, and it was 45 minutes. Alright, so who are we going to eat with? I'd like to talk to Lucky, but I don't know if there's going to be an option. I'm sure we'll run into someone. We could eat with the Gertners. Hey, Till, how's it going? Hello, Master Mahler. Let's head up to the mill. And the ruins, just real quick. We can go through this way. There's Staub again. I think this is the first time we've ever come through here without talking to Father Thomas. Alright, Franz Bauer is working. Hey, Mahler, you see my son? I saw him running from the Abbey this morning. You're Martin's dad. That fucking rat. Yeah, he stole from Baron Rothvogel. That layabout was asleep when I went into the fields. I told his mother he was sick. He say anything to you? Like where he was going? He told me to eat shit, actually. God damn it. How many times have I told him? Brr! Must be his mother's influence. He sure as shit didn't learn that from behavior from me. Bro, I'm gonna rat this kid out so hard. If you see him again, will you tell Kat? I don't think we've met Kat, but I guess that's his mom. She's driving me crazy about it. I'll let Kat know if I run into him. Good. Until later, Mara. Until then. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the first time we've talked to him. Anything over here? This is where the widow lives, right? Wait, I do want to talk to her. I wonder if we could eat dinner with you. You want something? Yeah, I want to discuss some things. This must be Ranig's cane. That is her dead husband. It's strong, sturdy, and here, this head. The head has broken off. Oh, really? The break looks recent. Could Attila have used this cane to kill Lorenz? Just because it's not dotted, let's take a look, and we obviously know who he is. But Attila, your husband's cane is broken. Do you remember how that happened? Like maybe earlier today when you killed someone with it? How should I know? Everything here is broken and falling apart. The head broke off at some point. I don't remember how. Right. Ah. Alright, so we have a new lead. Ranig's broken cane. So I guess we can't discuss with her because of the time of day. This will take us to the Bower Farm. I want to go through the middle of town, so I'm not going to go that way. Let's go, yeah, to the commons. This is the Zimmerman house. Those are the people whose sheep had gotten out, I believe. Here's Andreas. Hello, Andreas. We had dinner with Andreas. Central town. Let's stop in on the Zimmermans, and then let's go to the Zimmerman house. Or to Central Town. Hey, Otto, how's it going? Did you have supper plans, Andreas? Want to join me and Dad at our table? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's get going then. So this is Otto and like old Otto or whatever he's called. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we were about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord, Amen. Amen. I always switch back and forth personally my pronunciation of Amen and Amen. Like I never know like what I think it is. I feel like it's weird to not say one or the other. How are you feeling today, Dad? Hand's been killing me. Back's been killing me. Goddamn knees been killing me. Now you're speaking my language, man. You want some advice, boys? Don't get old. Is there some way I could help? I'm not as educated as Dr. Stoltz, but I studied medicine in university. I mean, that's kind of weird, but I guess if you do think you could actually help, you know, maybe. Already talked to that fraud for all the good it did. I'd be better off talking to a priest these days. Only relief coming in my way is death, I suspect. A farmer's fate ages you beyond your years, and that's certainly true. Just look at my boy here. Works too hard, he does, but what choice does he have? None, with the abbot breathing down my neck. I tell you he wants me to replace the roof on his house next? Didn't you just replace the one in the scriptorium? Yeah, and I made a mess of my shoulder doing it. The way that bastard Gernot orders me around, you'd think I'm one of his little monks. Alright, so we've got a poached egg, some salmon, and some bread. We'll start with the egg. He works you like a dog and says it's for the glory of the Lord. It's not right. But the work does need to be done, and Otto's the only carpenter in town. You should be glad the abbot values your work. It reduces your tax burden. It's not. I agree. I mean, both of these things are true, you know? If you are the only carpenter in town, that's unfortunate. But, you know, at the same time, you don't have to work like a slavish schedule, you know? You can, if you're the only carpenter in town, you should have the luxury of controlling the supply and being able to take your time and do what you want to do. Easy enough for you to say when it's my work that keeps you warm when you're scribbling away in that scriptorium. Apologies. That was not Christian of me to put that on you. But neither am I wrong. The abbot's bad, but the miller might be worse. That shithead Linhart's been screwing us for years with his toll. I have not met this man. Doesn't he need to make a living too? I've never spoken to him. Is he really so bad? He's worse even than you know, or will ever have to know, being a visitor, for which you should thank the Lord. Imagine your only income for the year was in the wheat you could grow in the summer, and the miller determines how much it costs you to grind in the flour. What if you have a poor season? What if the miller raises his toll? What if everyone has a great season and there's too much goddamn flour to make any money with it? The farmers are at the mercy of the weather, the church, and the miller. Two of those are beyond their power to influence. But the miller is their neighbor. He sees them struggle. He should help them, but not Leonhard Muller. He only takes more. I never thought about that. I suppose it makes sense that Muller is the German form of Miller. You know, lots of old surnames from the Middle Ages are taken directly from your profession. I hadn't considered it like that. God willing, Leonhardt will meet justice in this life or the next. I suspect I know which Otto prefers. Ha! You accusing me of unchristian behavior, Master Mahler? On to more pleasant pastures. Eh? You see any of those nuns while you were working, Otto? Dad. I remember that Cecilia woman being pleasant to look at back when I worked up there. Take a peek. There she is. Did you pay much attention to the nuns, old Otto? Mother Cecilia would not appreciate being spoken about that way. Or do you pay, not did you pay? I'll go with this. I don't mean anything by it, just using the eyes God gave me and the way he intended men to use them. Other pretty sisters up there as well, sometimes they catch the wrong man's eye. Shame what happened to that one a while back. Glad she came back though. Okay, this is new information. Who is that one? Is she the girl and the innocent? I kinda doubt it, but what happened? Which sister? It's a sad story, and not our place to share, least of all because we don't have the details. Mother Cecilia would know, not that she's likely to tell you. Handsome woman, Cecilia. Bet that big veil of hers is full of secrets. I'll have to talk to her. Okay, well it's good that we didn't talk to her then, because we gotta go talk to her about something else anyway. I think she knows something about the Baron's death. She keeps a keen eye over that abbey, that's for certain. I'm sorry, did these guys know about the Baron's death? I suppose word travels quickly. But I didn't realize that was something that was up for discussion. Not much happens there she doesn't know about. Now, if you want to hear all the little secrets, you should go to the Spinning Bee. Or all of Tassing's little secrets. What the hell is the Spinning Bee? Ugh, that gaggle. You can hear them cackling from here. The what? Where the women spin wool. Talk to the Gertnerians, the Johann Bauerians, or Cat. They'll tell you where to come by. Or when to come by. Okay, so Johann and Cat are the people we just talked to, right? Martin's parents? And the Gertners are who I'm staying with. But why are they adding Y and S? Gertnerins? Bauerins? I don't know what that means. Hey, son. I need to lay down. Why don't you say goodbye to your friend? Hee. Oh, I was like, what is so funny about that? Why don't you say goodbye to your friend here? Sorry, Andreas. The old man needs his rest. No worries. Of course. Thank you for having me. Sure, of course. Alright. Well, that looks like another day done. I'll go ahead and finish this episode after we go to sleep, just so it's like a natural break point. Good to see you, Andreas. You as well, old Otto. And young Otto. So I wanted to very quickly... Now it's too late. There's probably not really anything to do, but I'm just going to quickly pip over to the central town and see if there's anything for me to do. Here's the bakery. We went there this morning. Northtown, I don't think we've been here, have we? More ruins. I wonder if they're from the old Roman colony. There's the Stoltz house. That's the doctor. Okay. Tassing is lucky to have so much... Okay, maybe we did come through here. Although I know that there's also some wound wart up at the convent. And this takes us towards the abbey again. This is the... This is not the final animal. We're still missing one animal somewhere. This is the second cat we found, I think. And that's, yeah, back to the church and the drunkers. Okay, so, we're gonna go home, probably talk to the Gertner. So this is gonna be another long-ish episode. We're already at 35 minutes, and we're probably gonna be at least 5 more minutes. Well, maybe not. Maybe we'll just go straight in and go to sleep, if everyone's chilling. Yeah, it looks like everyone's asleep already, so... Not quite as long as I had feared. I'm still a little confused about the family here. We have... I don't know who that is. We have Big Jorg, Eva, I think, and I forgot the kid's name. I can't tell who that other person is. I guess it's Clara. I mean, no, but Clara works here. She doesn't live here, I think. I don't actually know what's going on. No, maybe, she asked me for rent. I don't know. I really should clean this up. Yeah, whatever. All right, it's getting late. I should get some rest. Go to sleep. Well, that was certainly a fun episode. I feel like it's too obvious for Otilla to be, for her husband's cane to be the murder weapon. I mean, we can't have discovered it that quickly. That wouldn't make any sense. Oh, hold on. Why are we waking up in the middle of the night? Ursula, that's her name. Under. Good morning. Oh, it's not morning. It's the middle of the night, Ursula. What are you doing up here? Step. I see. Very, very profound. Haha. Would you like me to tell you a story? Would that help you sleep? How about the black cockerel that terrorized the city with a single egg? This will be remembered. Hopefully in a good way. You know how your brother Big Jorg keeps his hens to lay eggs? Let's take a look at Big Jorg. There he is. Well, in the city of Basel, there was a black cockerel that didn't belong to anyone. It just strutted up and down the streets and scared little boys and girls, pecking at them when they got too close. Cockerels can't lay eggs, but this one did, right in the middle of town. And the people were scared, because that could only mean one thing. The cockerel had laid a basilisk egg. Is that where people think basilisks come from? Is roosters? The basilisk is half cockerel, half snake. Everything it touches or even looks at withers and dies. The wealthy people of Basel used mirrors, so they didn't have to look directly at the cockerel. And they tried to reach the egg before it could hatch. But no matter how they tried to get to the egg, the cockerel pecked at them and beat them back. I'm sorry, it's one chicken. I think you could get like 3 or 4 people, maybe a pitchfork, and handle it pretty easily. When the basilisk finally hatched, the people prayed to God for salvation. And within the hour, a knight with a shining shield rode up. Goof. And that's why basilisk statues are all over Basel. Alright, well that will certainly put her to sleep, I hope. I was hoping for something a little more, whoa, wow. We just slept through the whole morning, huh? Time to get back to work. I was hoping for something a little more eventful, like maybe someone wanted to talk to us in the middle of the night or something, but that's okay. It was a cute little interaction. That's it. I'm going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying this series, please, as always, leave a like and subscribe and comment. And I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.